It's Weird Medicine, the first and still only uncensored medical show in the history of broadcast radio and the longest-running show on this channel. I'm Dr. Steve with my little pal, Dr. Scott, the traditional Chinese medicine provider, gives me street cred with the wacko alternative medicine assholes. Hello, Dr. Scott.
Hey, Dr. Steve.
All right, good to see you. And also my partner in all things, Tacie. Hello, Tacie.
Hello.
This is a show for people who had never listened to a medical show on the radio. If you have a question you're embarrassed to take to your regular medical provider, if you can't find an answer anywhere else, give us a call at 347-766-4323. That's 347-POOHEAD. Visit our website at drsteve.com for podcasts, medical news, and stuff you can buy. I can't mention contractually. Most importantly, we are not your medical providers. Take everything you hear with a grain of salt. Don't act on anything you hear on this show without talking it over with your doctor, nurse practitioner, physician assistant, pharmacist, chiropractor, acupuncturist, yoga master, physical therapist, or whatever. All right, very good. Well, welcome back, Dr. Scott. Last week you were under the weather.
First time in how many years that I've not answered a bell?
Yeah, it's been a long time. Yeah. So you thought you had an adenovirus. Why did you think that and not, the more typical thing?
The C word?
Yeah, the C word. Right.
I just felt like it
the
was
virus that shall not be named.
Yes, it was mostly sinus and headache and runny nose.
Okay, so you're just making stuff up then.
Pretty much.
I mean, it could have been rhinovirus, right?
Yeah, could have been rhinovirus. Yeah, it got into my chest a little bit, but no color.
We were talking about how now, because of COVID, we have these respiratory virus panels now that we never had before.
Okay.
When people would come into the hospital with a non-bacterial pneumonia, we would just say it was
it's virus.
Yeah, it's a virus, atypical pneumonia. Yep. Now they have these viral panels, and one of the viruses they're looking at is rhinovirus. Huh. It's just a cold. Yeah. I mean, it's a rhino cold. Meaning nose. It's a nose virus.
Before COVID, it was a common cold.
It was just a common. That's right. And so we had somebody come in one of the remote hospitals. And they were like, you better glove up and gown up in there because they've got rhinovirus. I was like, okay. Just because it shows up on a lab test doesn't mean it's anything that we really need to be concerned about. I mean, I don't want to catch the guy's cold, so it's good to know, but... Yeah. It is. This is a new era, and this is the first step in fighting these fucking viruses, human pathologic viruses. This is the first step to finally pay attention to them.
Yep.
Now we notice you, and now we're going to come after you, and we are going to kill you.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, we got to.
Yeah, I felt a little rough. A little bit rough.
I think that's just as important as cancer. I mean, human virus, bird flu is one of those things that could really take out a bunch of people.
Oh, heck yeah. Or Ebola, if Ebola somehow shifts. And
if Ebola shifts to where it's...
doesn't kill you in the first 36 hours.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. We like I mean, we like it, but Ebola is reasonably workable because... It doesn't have asymptomatic carriers, and people are symptomatic quickly, and they die quickly, and so you isolate that area. And Nigeria really was one of the hallmark places that got an Ebola breakout and just dealt with it.
Yeah, jeez.
And did a really good job. So
Well, that's interesting.
Yep. Very good. All right. Check out Dr. Scott's website at simplyherbals.net. That's simplyherbals.net. And there you go. I think, let me see. We had, shit. Fuck it. Yep. Hang on. Sorry. That's where we'll start right there. Okay. All right. And Tacie, do you have any topics today?
Of course I do.
Oh, boy. Okay. Well, here we go. It's Tacie's time. All right. Just do it. It's fine. You don't need it.
Well, hello, everyone.
You need the intro. I just really need to redo it. It's obnoxious.
I love it, yeah.
Topic number 1.
Yes.
Scientists find big cause of deadly pancreatic cancer.
What?
This is from No Ridge Science Report. pancreatic ductal adenocarcinoma,
Yeah.
or PDAC. 8% survive 5 years after diagnosis.
That's a bad one.
When genes in the cancer stem cells were studied, they found a protein called CD9. It was on the surface of the stem cells. This protein could not act as a marker, but it also helps cancer stem cells behave in harmful ways. When changing the amount of CD9 in mice tumor cells, the tumors were formed smaller. Increasing CD9 made the cells more aggressive, and large tumors formed quickly. Patients with higher levels of CD9 tend to have a worse outlook. CD9 increases how fast
Tumor
cells
growth,
take in glutamine, which
Oh.
helps the cancer grow.
Oh.
Cutting off glutamine is like starving the cancer.
So this gives them a target
Yes.
for future research.
Which is
because
very much needed.
absolutely it is. Pancreatic cancer can kiss my ass, like all cancers.
Yeah.
But that one, we usually don't find out about it till it's pretty well advanced, and that's the problem with it. So,
Yeah.
that's actually very exciting. So, what I'm looking at is the original article in Nature's Cellular Biology, Natural Cellular Biology. CD9 identifies pancreatic cancer stem cells and modulates glutamine metabolism to fuel tumor growth. So that's very exciting. Somebody's going to make $1 billion off of this.
Let's hope
by
so,
developing.
yeah.
Well, yeah, good.
Heck yeah. Get all power to them.
You take away
It's a
the
terrible one.
that advantage, and if you just have the humanitarian advantage or altruistic outlook, you'll get it done eventually. But it'll be a lot faster if people can make a shit.
If there's a financial incentive.
Sorry, let me do that over again. I choked that time. I don't have pneumonia again, I don't think.
Good.
Yeah, okay. It'll get done a lot faster if they can make a shitload of money off of it. So, anyway, very good, Tace.
All right. Topic number 2. This comes from Reuters.com.
Okay.
Bayer says drug research focus no longer on women's health. But I think most drug
Who
companies...
says that? Bear?
Bayer.
Smokey the Bear?
Bayer, the drug company.
Bayer. Okay, I got you.
Bayer.
Okay. Are we making fun of the accent now?
Yeah, of course.
Pretty much, yeah.
Asshole.
If you're asking.
Bayer makes Yasmin and Mirena birth control. It said it would still continue to pursue the development of non-hormonal menopausal symptoms relief.
Oh.
Elinzanetant as one of its foremost promising pharma products. So anyway, they've got this drug that they're still pursuing that's going to try to help with menopausal symptoms, which is very much needed. Anyway, so a change is coming at the top for Bayer in June. The CEO, Bill Anderson, will have to deal with the lawsuits about Roundup killer causing cancer. So they've got an underwhelming drug pipeline, and investors are looking for a change. Bayer had acquired Sharing, which had a large women's health business, and they will now focus on oncology.
Wait, we're not recording. I don't know what happened. Shit.
Well, at least you found
Hang on. Okay, start over with topic number 2. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, hang on.
Good
Hang on.
save, though.
3, 2, 1.
This comes from Reuters.com.
Okay.
Bayer says drug research focus
Bear.
will...
Bayer.
No, shut up.
Smokey the Bear.
Suck
Bear.
it. Suck it. Did
Here-
you understand that?
Daniel Boone killed the
Suck.
bar.
A bar.
Suck it.
Okay.
No longer on women's health. Bayer
Oh.
makes Yasmin and Mirena birth control.
Okay.
Said it would still continue to pursue the development of non-hormonal menopausal symptoms.
Oh, wow. Good for
They have a compound called elinzanetant as one of the foremost promising pharmaceutical products. Again, you can suck it. The change is coming at the top for Bayer in June. CEO Bill Anderson will have to deal with lawsuits about Roundup killer causing cancer. Underwhelming drug pipeline and investors are looking for a change.
Yeah.
Bayer acquired Sharing, which had a large women's health business, And they will now focus on oncology, cardiovascular disease, neurology, rare disease, and immunology, which I feel like is where all pharmaceutical companies are going.
Immunology, yeah.
And
here's
rare disease.
Women have gotten the short end of the stick in medical research for
Ever.
decades. You know, it was a lot of times, you know, the medical schools were male, particularly in the 50s, and they published scientific articles based on male subjects. Even if they were animal subjects, they were very often male animals. And they would, you're going to ask questions that are interesting to you. So that's why we have a pill. We've got multiple pills and devices and shock waves and all this stuff for men's erectile issues, and not so much for women's libidos, because, you know, for them, you know, who cares, right? I mean, that's the way the science is going.
That's what it looks like.
That's right. Oh, God. Tacey's been watching the Duggar documentary. Good Lord.
Oh, was it terrible?
But anyway, yeah. And the thing is, we have to acknowledge this, that certain diseases impact men and women very differently. Okay, there is a difference.
Yeah, yeah.
And we have to start putting as much. We need a Title IX for medical research the same way we need it for sports back in the 60s and 70s.
Yep.
You know, to make sure that we are paying attention to diseases that affect women. Now, one of the greatest advances, and we'll have to say that this is very important, is the Gardasil vaccine, because we are seeing already, I mean, if you've ever seen cervical cancer, particularly in its late stages in a young woman, it sucks. It's so bad. Mm-hmm. And the Gardasil vaccine, we're already seeing a reduction in abnormal pap smears, and I'm convinced that in the next decade, we're going to see a huge drop-off in deaths from cervical cancer.
It's wonderful.
So,
because that vaccine, the Gardasil, is not that old, is it? 10 years?
Yeah, I don't know when it came out. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. The generation that got it in grade school are now
adults,
now getting pap smears and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, look that up if you don't care. All right, good one, Tace.
Great one, Tace.
Okay, topic number 3. Early heart attack symptoms missed the most often. This comes from the very scientific Parade magazine.
Okay.
Heart disease is the leading cause of death in the U.S., and most commonly missed, shortness of breath, can occur with or without chest discomfort. Yeah. We're talking trouble breathing or dyspnea. I have trouble saying that.
That was perfect. Mm-hmm. Dyspnea.
Other commonly missed symptoms, chest pressure, upper abdominal pain. Don't wait for left-sided chest pain.
Right.
Also pain in the shoulder, arm, neck, in your back or stomach. Nausea, vomiting, heartburn, dizziness, sweating, and fatigue.
When my dad had his treadmill, this was way back before they had the nuclear treadmills that they do now. Mm-hmm. He just did a normal treadmill with an EKG, and all of a sudden they started seeing what we call ischemia, where there's one interval that starts to depress. And they were like, hey, you're having lack of blood going to the arteries in your heart and consequently to the heart muscle. And he said, well, that's weird. I'm not having any chest pain. I'm having pain in my left shoulder, and I always thought it was arthritis when I was out on the golf course. So he's out on the golf course having angina, heart pain, and thinking it's just arthritis because he didn't present like a textbook. Right. The textbook presentation for heart attack is left-sided chest pain radiating to the left arm with shortness of breath, palpitations, nausea, and sweating, or what we call diaphoresis. Almost nobody presents that way. When they do, it's easy. Yeah. So really, you could almost have a 12-year-old trained to pick that up if somebody comes in that way. It's the ones that present like Tacie is talking about, where they don't present in a textbook fashion. But what is almost always true, Tace, is these symptoms are associated with exertion. So I go up the stairs and all of a sudden I'm having shortness of breath every time. Or I walk up the stairs and I'm sweating, or I get nauseated, something like that. If it's associated with activity and it's reproducible, it's very likely, it's likely that you need to see somebody to get a workup
Make sure
done.
it's not your heart.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Okay.
I believe my aunt, she was having a widowmaker, and her main symptom was nausea and vomiting.
Yeah.
So she went to the doctor, and of course they did not catch it.
Yeah. Well, you won't. I've told the story on this show multiple times of the guy that got triaged from the emergency room because he came in saying he had a sore throat. And what it really was, he was having a heart attack, and the pain was radiating up into his neck. And if he had said, I have neck pain, maybe they would have,
Maybe, yeah.
but probably not even then. Now, if he said, I'm having neck pain with shortness of breath, that started when I was exerting myself, maybe they would have caught it. But, they put him in a room and pulled the curtain, and we'll get to you in a little bit, because they thought he had strep throat or something, and walked in and he was gone.
Dang.
So
Also, the lesson on that is when you go into the emergency room, be as specific as you can. Don't minimize your symptoms. Tell them everything.
Yep.
Okay.
yeah. So I didn't think it was right to talk about symptoms without talking about prevention.
Okay.
And these are pretty, commonly known. But, healthy weight, physically active, eating healthy, not smoking, don't drink too much, sleep 7 to 9 hours a night,
Yes, Dr.
and manage
Steve.
your stress. I know, exactly.
Fuck off with managing stress.
Know
and
your
sleep.
blood
And
pressure,
sleep.
cholesterol, and blood sugar.
Okay.
You
So
can't
just-
you can't just take a cholesterol pill and your heart's magically healthy. I think it involves stress reduction, Dr. Steve. Sleep, hygiene, Dr. Steve.
Lord and Lady douchebag.
True, though.
Yeah.
True that. True that. Now, this one is
God.
for
This is not a morning zoo, you guys.
this one is just kind of for the morons out there.
Uh-oh.
The morons.
Worst habits for blood sugar.
Okay.
Okay. So carbs,
Eating cake.
stress, eating refined sugars, because it causes spikes in blood glucose levels, causing a stress response in the body, which causes a snowball of poor sleep, anxiety, and more.
Could I
And
eat-
more, not moy.
Could
more.
I eat apple pie if I got the
Oh, apple
sugar?
pie sounds so good right
If
now.
I got the sugar, could I eat apple pie? Because it sure is good taste.
Avoid desserts, white bread, white flour, sugary beverages, coffee with syrups or sugar, and high fructose corn syrup.
They say pi r squared, but that ain't right. Pi are round.
Oh my God, dad jokes. Dad jokes.
Oh,
Well.
that's terrible.
I thought it wasn't a morning zoo.
Yeah, I was going to say he just added to it.
The guy doing the weird character, and Scott making weird noises, and Tacie screaming "True Dat."
True dad.
Maybe we could do a morning show.
I was going to say I think the
I don't think we're good enough for that.
No.
Oh,
God,
get
no.
out of here! Have you heard some of the shit that's out there?
it takes me a little while to get going in the morning. It'd be like a 10, 11 a.m. kind of.
Oh, they just yak, and they say, and they have the contests. Ooh, which topping do you like best on your ice cream? Call in, and it's like, shut the fuck up.
Who cares?
Yes,
Put
exactly.
whatever you want on your
Who cares?
Hot fudge or hot caramel?
or hot shit.
No, we're not doing this. That's the whole point. Is it's a hack, shitty bit. Now,
I was just
you two are
telling
over there going,
everybody.
"Well, wait a minute. I do like hot fudge."
Well, now that you mention it, Dr. T.
All right. All right. What else you got, Tace?
That's it.
Oh, that's
what
it?
else do you
Hey,
want me
very
to
good.
have?
Oh,
My
great.
God.
No.
Give thyself a bell.
Suck it.
No, those were good.
God's sakes. Just
All
because she
right.
did her homework, she gets a bell.
Number one thing,
Yeah.
don't take advice from some asshole on the radio.
That's exactly right, Dr. Scott. She did her homework, so she gets a bell. All right.
Hey, Dr. Steve, DMP Carissa, Scott, and Tacie.
DNP Caress will be back in, I think, 2 weeks.
Cool.
I think next week PA Letty will be here, and then DNP Caress will be back.
I would have a two-parter here, and I'll let you pause between the two. But
Okay. Well,
first
thank
off,
you.
can you explain the difference between tolerance, dependency, and addiction?
Yeah. Is
And then
that
here's my second one.
okay? That's the first one.
Pause.
Sure. Well, I mean, any of us can talk about this. So, tolerance is just a phenomenon that, and it's not just applicable to opioids, but could be lots of other drugs. That over time you need an increasing amount of the drug to produce the same effect, and it is classically seen in opioid analgesics, heroin, oxycodone, those things where you have to take increasing doses over time to still get the same effect. Now, there is a weird one, methadone, the D isomer of methadone. So methadone, it has a right-handed molecule and a left-handed molecule. It just has to do with how the molecules are made, and they're mirror images of each other. The D, the right-handed molecule, blocks a receptor called N-methyl D-aspartate. Don't worry about what that is. But when you antagonize that receptor, tolerance goes away. For some reason, the body continues to be responding to the same doses of medication. So we can throw D-methadone at people, and they stop, having to increase their opioid dose for their chronic pain. Okay. Or you can just use methadone. A lot of people I've had on methadone 5 milligrams 3 times a day for 10 years for neuropathic pain or whatever. So it's pretty interesting. So that's tolerance. Now, addiction is, there's medical definitions of it, but addicts tend to lie, cheat, and steal to get their medication. They take it for non-medical use, right? They take it beyond the point where it's doing them harm. And when they stop taking the drug, they will go through withdrawal if it's an opioid. Now, dependence is another thing. If you get somebody who has cancer and they've had cancer pain, you run up their dose of opioids over time, and then you cure their cancer and then they stop their medication. Now, they didn't lie, cheat, or steal. They were taking it for a medical purpose. They weren't taking it beyond the point it was causing them harm, and they didn't crave it. But what they did have was withdrawal because they stopped their medicine too quickly.
Is that habituation?
People use these words differently. Okay. I always called that habituation. Some people say habituation and addiction are synonymous, but dependency is the word that that's the distinction this person is making between dependence. That person is dependent on it, meaning that if they stop it suddenly, they'll go through withdrawal. Mm-hmm. So the answer to that is don't stop it suddenly. If you're a cancer patient, you're getting your medicine from a palliative medicine person, they should be tapering it. I'll taper people over 3 months sometimes. I don't care how long it takes, as long as we're going in the right direction and the patient gets a nice, soft landing, because they don't deserve, after going through cancer treatment and they get their cancer cured and they had horrible pain and now their pain is gone, they don't deserve to go through withdrawal. So I don't care how long it takes, as long as we're going in the right direction.
Yep.
Okay?
Totally agree.
All right. That was part one of his question. Questions, comments? Okay.
Nope.
All right.
I understand that addiction is in your genes, but why can't they study somebody like me who was on Valium for years and just stopped taking it one day, and Soma for years, just stopped taking it one day?
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
200 milligrams of Cadian twice a day and 85 milligrams of Oxycontin.
Okay, Cadian is a long-acting morphine. It's you just take it once a day. So he was taking, did he say 85 of Cadian? That's
no, I thought it said of Oxy.
No, okay, hang on.
And 85 milligrams of Oxycontin.
Okay, wait a minute. Oxycodone.
200 milligrams of Cadian twice.
Okay, twice a day? Wow.
Twice a day.
So he was taking 400 milligrams of extended-release morphine. That is 40 Lortab 10s, just to give everybody context. If I say 1,600 morphine milligram equivalents, nobody understands what I'm talking about except another pain person. But if I say that's equivalent to 160 Lortab 10s, everybody goes, oh, okay, I get that. All right, so let's see. And then he was taking...
And 85 milligrams of Oxycontin throughout the day, and just stopped taking it one day.
And so 85, let's say he was taking 90 milligrams of oxycodone. That's equivalent to 13 and a half Lortab 10s. So he was taking 53 and a half Lortab 10 equivalents during the day.
And I'm not saying that I didn't have like physical symptoms of, shitting my brains out for a couple of days, but I never felt the need to want to take it again. Like, why can't they study my genes?
Well, they should. I think that's how we learn things, is you find the outliers that have a trait that you want, and you see why it is. Obviously, it's genetic because everything is, but he may have an enzyme or some receptor that allows him to start and stop these medications with impunity. Most people aren't like that.
Right.
I think they should study him.
Yeah,
He should write a letter to a university center that's doing research on addictionology and say, hey, you guys want to get my blood? See, get some...
Or your stool or whatever.
Yeah.
See if it's a gut microbiome thing
Right,
or
it could be.
Who knows?
Who the hell
Who
knows? They should study the hell out of this guy.
Yeah.
They should put a thing out, a bulletin out saying, if you're like that, come see us.
Yeah. Yeah, wouldn't that be incredible?
And then they need to confirm it. So
Right.
they need to get him hepped up on opioids and then stop it suddenly and see what happens.
See if he shits his pants for 3 days, like you said.
Well, that is one of the symptoms is diarrhea.
Right. Yeah, but the interesting thing is his withdrawal symptoms were physical, but he didn't have the mental component of really wanting and breaking
Habit
in and going back and going and starting them again.
I wonder what made him quit.
I wonder what is on all that stuff for in the first place.
But, chronic low back pain or something. Didn't he say he was in an accident or something?
Maybe.
And, maybe he just didn't need it anymore. I'm a weirdo because, you've seen my back. I've posted it on the internet before. It is a nightmarish scenario. It looks like something straight out of Hellraiser. And the guy offered me opioids, and I was like, hell no. Mainly because I understood that that's a dead end. Opioids are a dead end for chronic non-malignant pain for the most part. Now, the chronic pain people out there that are on opioids, God bless you. I'm not saying that you don't need them. Some people do, but I knew it would be a dead end for me, and it is a dead end for a lot of people. And, I did non-opioid things, and I'm no longer crawling up the stairs like I was.
Well, you did interventional things other than just.
Well, I did.
opiates,
That's what I'm saying. But I did no opioids.
Right.
I did interventional stuff.
That you responded to, thankfully. Yeah.
2 epidurals and 2 facet joint foraminal injections where they take a big old needle and a C-arm. A C-arm is basically an X-ray that you can move around in the central axis. And this guy, my doctor, is a genius, and he can move that C-arm around until he lines up all the holes that he wants to line up in your spine, because there's all kinds of little nooks and crannies. He can line them all up, and then he just takes a needle and puts it right in there, and you can watch the medicine go into the joint space and see that it's right there. It's right exactly where it needs to be. And when you get somebody like that, those kinds of shots really help. The first one lasted 6 weeks. The next one lasted a month, but the next 2 that he did, where he did the ones right at the nerve root, that was 2 years ago, I think, wasn't it, Tace?
It's been a while.
I lost my handicap placard, to my chagrin, to be honest with you. But it's good. I don't want to lose my integrity by using a handicap placard when I don't need it. But it was awfully tempting. But I lost it, and I was in my office one day, and this guy was in there with a shitty cane, and he was having trouble walking. I said, just hang on a second. And I went and got him my highfalutin fancy wood cane and gave it to him. He was really happy. And I was happy to be able to just give it away.
Yes.
So it can be done. And this guy did it too.
Yeah.
Whatever. And he got off of it easy. I just never got on it in the first place. Anyway, I'm not like Dr. Agus, who says, "Oh, no chronic back pain person needs medication." That's bullshit.
Well, because he hadn't seen some of the shit we've seen, probably.
I know. Well, I don't know what the hell is up with him. He wrote this book where you just don't need, he's arguing that nobody needs any pain medicine for back pain. But I did physical therapy. I did the epidurals. I did, I took gabapentin, which turned the nerves down a little bit. You told me to get rid of that damn back, my inverter.
Yeah.
That was making it worse.
Yep,
it seemed like it made it better. So I bought an inversion table. And for me, as long as I was on it upside down, I felt pretty good. But as soon as I got up, it was just everything was just smashing back together again. Yep. So I gave it to Lady Diagnosis so she could deal with it.
Now she can deal with it.
All right. I think those things are really good for some people.
Yes.
And if you want to see what I'm talking about, go to stuff.drsteve.com and just scroll down.
The biggest mistake a lot of folks do with it, they just tilt it back too far. Where if you only go maybe 20 degrees max.
No, you see, that's the
you
whole
were flipping
thing.
upside down.
Oh, yeah, you want to. The whole thing is you got an inversion table, you want to hang upside down.
Yeah, but you're overcooking it, old buddy.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just a little bit.
All right, very good.
Hi, my name is Mike. I've got this issue with wiping. I've got a question. About a year ago, I started having this problem where it seemed like I could never wipe enough. It was always greasy and muddy down there. It seemed like it was just, the wiping went on forever.
Yep.
So I started using like those rolls of blue shop towels to wipe, and I would spray them down with some rubbing alcohol. And it was the only thing that would give me a clean sensation down there.
Yeah.
So basically, I was wondering, like, is there a chance that I might be making this situation worse because it hasn't gotten any better?
Yes.
All it's doing is making me feel temporarily clean until the next bowel movement. And I'm wondering, like, am I, like, killing any bacteria that's, whose job is to, like, sop up the extra grease by using this alcohol? Or, and basically, should I stop doing this?
Yeah, you should. I'm going to finish his call here because there's a little bit more to it. But what he's doing is taking away the oils, essential oils from the skin around his rectum. And I've seen people who did what he did, and they end up getting this thickened red skin in their ass crack that is, you can't even describe it as skin anymore. It's like plastic, kind of. It gets so irritated. What he's doing is he's irritating it to the point where he's losing his natural defense in that area, and so there'll be chronic inflammation there over time. Let me see. And then I'm going to tell him what to do instead.
I don't know if this is good or not. I've never heard of anyone doing it, and I've never seen anything else about anyone else doing it. And I'm just wondering if I'm, if this might have worked itself out if I hadn't.
No, it wouldn't have worked itself out. You probably have a hairy ass crack. And we've used this analogy before. Just imagine taking Vaseline and dumping it on a bare rug and then trying to wipe it up with newspaper. That's basically what you're doing when you're trying to get fecal matter out of the matted hair on your ass crack. And it's very difficult to get things clean down there. Plus, there may be some just a little bit still up in the rectum that's working its way out because we don't seem to evacuate completely in this country because we don't eat enough fiber. So first thing, eat more fiber. Second thing, drink more water. Third thing, Tacie, get a
bidet.
A bidet, very good. Okay.
Give thyself a bill.
Oh, wait a minute. No, that's cheap, man.
Yeah, get yourself a bidet. Now, I messaged him and said, get a bidet. He said, I'm on the road all the time. Won't work. Gotcha. Guess what?
What about the wipes?
Guess what? I'm not a fan of the wipes either because you're still rubbing against your ass crack. Get a portable bidet. Tushy makes one that is not mechanical. It's very cheap. It just looks like one of those douche bottles that you use after you deliver a baby. Mm-hmm. I don't like that one. I like the Blow, Bleaux. It's battery powered, and it's small. You carry it with you. You fill it up. You fill up the reservoir with warm water before you sit down to defecate, and then you pop out this little arm on it. And you, after you're done, you stick it between your legs and you push the button, and it bidets your ass. And then it will completely clean all of the debris, and as
the loose matter,
as Harrison Young said when I was on his show, all the grit. He says, I want some grit in there. It's like, I don't want grit in my ass crack. So shit is water soluble. And if you will you put this thing between your legs, hit the button, and just go until all the water's gone, and then all you have to do is pat yourself dry. And if you get a Tacie bidet for your home, that one has enough power. You're basically giving yourself a mini enema if you aim it just right. And they're like $69. Go to stuff.drsteve.com and scroll down, and this stuff is there.
Yeah.
Okay? That is literally the answer. They do not have these problems in countries that have bidets in every bathroom. Now, some of them have the separate bidet. I don't want that. I don't want to get up with
a separate place you have to sit.
Yeah, it's next to the toilet, and you get up with shit on your ass, and then you go over and you sit on this other thing, and then turn it on. It seems weird to me. Now, maybe it's just because I'm not used to it, but it's wide open, so it looks to me like there would be stuff in the bottom of it when you're done. I don't want that. Just get the one that's attached to the bidet. Now, what Tacie and I did, we were such fans that we got the Moen, M-O-E-N, makes a bidet toilet seat. And don't get the one you got to plug into the wall unless you just have to have warm water. You get used to it. I kind of like the cold water, the regular temperature water.
Soothing.
Yeah, it is. And the Moen, it doesn't have the pressure that the Tacie does, but it is integrated into the toilet seat, and it's less likely if you lean on it or something to break.
Okay.
And we put it on every toilet in the house, even the guest bathroom downstairs. I don't know if anybody's ever used it. But we are bidet fans.
Yes.
I cannot stand to not have it now, so I take my blow even when we go on vacation or when I go on my trips to Rochester and stuff like that for the WATP stuff. I take it with me. All right?
All right.
Here we go. Let's try this one. Tace.
Hi, Dr. Steve. I have a question. I actually asked my doctor, the surgeon, about it, and he kind of just giggled at me.
Giggled?
Everyone in the office giggled. They laughed
when
I asked because I mentioned Grey's Anatomy, but I am having a total knee replacement.
Okay, if you mention Grey's Anatomy, no one's going to take you very seriously. That was the most unrealistic show when it came to medical training. I mean, first thing, all the interns are like 40 years old. I mean, how old Ellen Pompeo? I don't know how old she is now, but she can't still be a resident. I mean, I haven't watched it in ages. And if I found a bunch of residents hanging around socializing in the room of a patient that was in a coma, number one, you don't just keep comatose patients in the hospital just on and on and on when they're not on life support. Remember that? There was that person that had a coma, and they would just go in there and socialize and stuff and flirt and stuff. They would all be fired.
Yes, you would rip them a new ass.
That is really it's disrespectful and unprofessional and not okay in any way. But anyway, so that might be why they giggled, but let's see why he brought it up.
Next Thursday, June 15th. And stupid as it sounds, I've watched an episode of Grey's Anatomy where this guy was having showing signs of he couldn't remember who he was, where he was.
Oh yeah,
like Alzheimer's or dementia, whichever. Anyway, this comes to at the end of the episode, it said it was a reaction to the cobalt that was in his knee. I asked the doctor, what is the what metal is in the knee I'm getting to be made up, and he said cobalt. I said, I saw on Grey's Anatomy that cobalt, people have an allergic reaction to it that kind of looks like Alzheimer's. And they just giggled. They didn't really answer my question.
Yeah, I know.
So is it true that people do get allergic or are allergic to cobalt, and it does cause symptoms like that? And
Okay, listen.
what's
Listen, I don't know from cobalt. Memory loss is a complication for many people after total joint replacement surgery. And it is, I'm looking at JAMA Network right now, long-term cognitive trajectory after total joint arthroplasty. People have poor concentration, impaired attention, or executive function. And, but these tend to be people that are 80.
And from the anesthesia, not from the joint or from some kind of allergic reaction.
Is there cobalt in titanium?
So I was going to say, I'll let you finish, but I'll talk.
Yeah,
about
no,
it for
go
just
ahead.
a second.
I'm done. Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, so I have seen a number of folks that have been allergic to different kind of total joints and
Yes.
infusions, which it could be cobalt, it could be the titanium, it could be nickel, whatever it is. But I've seen it in everything from the neck, from like ACDF. So when somebody has a fusion in their neck, to having actual total knees completely redone, taken out and put in a new type of knee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen that.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with the memory. The memory thing is typically associated with older adults in the anesthesia.
I mean, the cobalt's in all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And apparently 1 in 20 people in the United States or worldwide are allergic to cobalt.
Yeah.
But it's in all kinds of environmental stuff, So I don't, it's interesting. Yeah, it's people with cobalt allergy have allergy to nickel and chromium, which are closely related. And 15% of people are allergic to these metal allergens. But yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it can be, cobalt isn't responsible in part for production of B12. So that, maybe they end up with a B12 deficiency. I don't know. I don't know what the hell Grey's Anatomy was talking about. I'll just tell you about Google Grey's Anatomy cobalt allergy and just see if anything interesting comes up, because that is a very strange one. But I do know that a lot of those shows will go, and House would do this too. They would go for a very, they would find something that was insanely rare and then make a whole show about it. So we'll come back to that one.
Yep.
All right. Let's try this one.
Hey, Dr. Steve. I've been listening for a while since my husband got me hooked on your show, but calling for the first time.
Excellent.
So I have a question about allergies. I'm a 38-year-old, and I have been a long-time allergy sufferer, pretty much my whole life. Basically, everything environmental that blooms in every season here where I live in Alabama. Dust, mold, if it's got fur or some kind of dander, I'm allergic to it.
Oh, my God.
I started allergy shots last year, but I'm also taking over-the-counter medications on bad days. And so bad days, if I have an attack, it's, the sneezing, itchy, watery eyes, itchy face. And Benadryl is the only thing that gives me immediate relief, but
Lord.
it knocks me out even if I just take like a half.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering if you knew of anything that might work just as powerfully as Benadryl, but doesn't make me fall asleep as soon as I take it. I appreciate you and Dr. Scott so much. Take care.
But not Tacie, though.
No. Because she likes that briar. She likes those briars.
Yeah, so I'll talk about allopathic stuff, and you can talk about non-allopathic stuff.
Sounds good.
Number one, go get yourself a Navage. Mm-hmm. The Navage is a saline nasal a nasal irrigator. Tacie has one, and I bought her one when she was desperate. And it was a win because, you tell them.
I could breathe after, and it felt like concrete in my head.
Yeah.
But I could breathe
and
after
it washes
I did
out the allergen, so you quit making that allergen and histamine release, so that you have to take an antihistamine. That's what Benadryl is. The problem with Benadryl is it is also highly what we call anticholinergic, and it doesn't matter so much for this show what that means, but what it does is it gives you dry mouth, it makes you sleepy, and it increases your risk of dementia long term too if you take it every day. So we're not big fans of the anticholinergic stuff, and if you're an elderly male and you take Benadryl, it can cause you to not be able to urinate. So I recommend the non-drowsy antihistamines.
She didn't mention Monty Luke has.
You're
so
right.
She's not tried that.
Ooh, that was right.
Give thyself a bell.
Oh, did you hear that, Scott?
Oh, for God's sake.
That's where I was going.
That's what I get for missing a week.
So the over-the-counter stuff, Navage, Flonase,
yes.
Nasal steroids. You can get Dr. Scott's nasal rinse.
Yep.
It has, and you can get that at simplyherbals.net. Seriously, he has two of them, one with CBD, one without, but it has peppermint oil in it, which is a direct anti-inflammatory for mucous membranes. You can do all of those things, and if that doesn't do, a non-drowsy antihistamine like fexofenadine, which is sold under the brand name Allegra, and Flonase, which is fluticasone, is a nasal steroid. If that doesn't do it, then your prescriber might be able to write you Montelukast, which is what Tacie was alluding to. It's also known as Singular.
Gotcha.
And for some people, if it works, it's like magic.
Okay.
If it doesn't work, it just doesn't work. But for the people that does work on it, it's great. Now, be careful. I've prescribed that stuff for probably 35 years, and we had one case of a kid who was put on it, and it was a friend of ours, who they thought he was autistic, and he didn't connect, and he didn't, he threw fits and all this kind of stuff, and they really thought he was autistic. They, at some point, I'm not even sure how they came to this, but he'd been on Montelukast his whole life.
Okay.
They took him off of it, and all of a sudden his developmental delay just went away.
Wow.
Now, he was delayed because it was delayed,
Sure.
but he's moving so much faster and getting, basically a normal kid now.
Mm-hmm.
So be careful with all prescription medications and just be aware of the adverse effects. That's a 1 in some X thousand where people have a problem with that. But we see crazy things with some antibiotics.
Yes.
The fluoroquinolones, like Levaquin, people just throw those out for this, that, and the other. And every once in a while, I had a friend who went psychotic.
Oh, wow.
And it took them a minute to figure out it was the fluoroquinolone that they were taking. They just thought that they'd gone crazy and paranoid and hearing voices and, threatening people and stuff like that. Stopped the antibiotic and went away. Now, what's the other weird one, Scott? You should know this with Levaquin or fluoroquinolones.
Tearing Achilles tendons.
Ooh.
Give thyself a bell.
Oh, did you get one?
That is
Yeah,
true.
I'm 10 behind now.
You can. It can somehow weaken the Achilles tendon, and people have been known to be taking that antibiotic and get a rupture of their the tendon in their ankle, so the back of their ankle. All right.
Yep.
Very good.
Well,
Try that stuff and let us know.
Let me
if
tell her
anyone
real
else.
quick a couple other things.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
it's okay. It's okay. Yeah.
Strangle us.
No, and I'm with Dr. Steve, first of all. Try to wash the crud out of your head. I like the Navage. I love the Simply Herbals nasal spray. The other thing is, in Chinese herbology, we have some really wonderful medications that work extremely well for allergies, which is what I take. And one of them is called Xanthium. Just find somebody that practices
Xanthium.
Chinese. Yeah. It's just a flower. But it's a mixture of other herbs, and it works extremely well for allergies with no side effects. Doesn't make you drowsy. Just find somebody that does some herbal medicines in your area. They may have some kind of magic elixir.
Magic.
But,
We don't like magic, but
hey, listen, if he makes those allergies better, you take whatever you can take.
Yeah,
true.
that's right.
But and sadly, the other thing is sometimes people just have to move to a less pollen-filled environment.
Yep.
She might have to move to the beach.
when I go to the beach, my allergies go
Magically
away.
disappear.
Yeah.
Gosh, wonder how that happens.
Yeah. Well, you're washing your
I know,
sinuses
I
out. No, but I mean,
and salt, well, the salt water air.
when you
and
get in there in the wind,
Yeah,
the
the
wind at the
breeze.
beach also keeps stuff, seems to just keep you from inhaling antigens because the breeze tends to come from over the water.
Yep.
Do we know why that happens? Why is there always a wind at the beach?
Because there's no trees to block.
Nah, bullshit. Shit. Now, when
it's called the trade wind.
that is part of it, though. So I'll give you some credit for that. But you have heat rising over the sand. I mean, heating the air over the sand, and so that air rises, and as it rises, it's got to be replaced by air from somewhere else. So the cooler air over the ocean will take its place, and so you'll get wind that generally comes from the direction of the ocean. That's why you can always fly your kite behind where you're sitting.
And that's our geography lesson for the day.
Well, that would be
the ocean does
meteorology
soak up all the heat.
lesson.
Oh, would it now?
Yes.
All right, let's see. Here's a good one.
Hi, Dr. Steve. I have a question that does not involve COVID, dicks, or balls.
Oh, okay. Next.
Don't want to hear it.
Next question.
I find myself allergic to just about every antibiotic there is, and I'm starting to get a little nervous about it. I have anaphylactic reactions with both penicillin and cephalosporin drugs. The deoxycycline gives me a terrible migraine, and one of my go-tos, which would be like the Z-Pack, recently I had a terrible adverse reaction to that, even though I had taken it in the past. So my question is, as a doctor, what would you do with a patient like me?
Okay, we're running out of time, but I can tell you exactly what I would do. If you had let's just say you had Acinetobacter infection in your bowel, and the only thing that would treat it is penicillin, we would do a desensitization protocol on you. There is a specific protocol where you basically give somebody a little bit, then you give them a little bit more, and what you're doing is you're eating up all those antibodies, the IgE antibodies that cause anaphylaxis, and you're eating them up in small doses, and you keep increasing and increasing. It takes several hours to do. And then I would give you the antibiotic, and I could give you the antibiotic as long as you don't stop it, you can continue to take it. This doesn't cure your allergy. It just allows you to take the antibiotic in an emergency situation. And then if you take it, let's say, for a month, then you go off of it for 2 days, you're going to have anaphylaxis again. So that part, we don't have the ability to fix just yet, but we can desensitize you. So if you get something that's horrendous that has to be treated with one of those antibiotics, then we can do that. Now, as far as the scary stuff, there are other types of drugs. There are meropenem, there's aminoglycosides, there's all kinds of different classes of drugs that you probably can take. You just haven't because they are IV only. And yeah, if you get a cold, you're going to be one of the good patients that says, I don't want an antibiotic for this, because antibiotics don't treat colds. They treat bacteria, and most people who get antibiotics for an upper respiratory infection actually don't need them. So that's good. You won't be contributing to antibiotic resistance and all that kind of BS. All right?
All right.
Well, anyway, what have we done today? We talked about allergies. We talked about cobalt allergy,
a lot of
desensitization.
Yeah, a lot of allergies.
Tacie's time of topics.
That's right.
We've done it all.
Greasy ass, baby.
And greasy ass, yeah, bidets. Get a bidet. Go to drsteve.com or stuff.drsteve.com and pick yourself out a bidet. Anyway, thanks to everyone at SiriusXM whose steadfast support of this show has sustained us over the years. Many thanks to our listeners whose voicemail and topic ideas make this job very easy. Go to our website at drsteve.com for schedules, podcasts, and other crap. Until next time, check your stupid nuts for lumps. Quit smoking, get off your asses, and get some exercise. We'll see you in 1 week for the next edition of Weird Medicine. Thanks, everybody.
Goodbye, everyone.
Okay. Now, I don't know. There we are. Okay. We could do a couple more.
Let's just do. Well, we
got
the one question from Mark from Wasserman that he asked at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, asked at the beginning. So let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I got to check on that cat.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we should probably talk about the kitty cat. All right, you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, and before we get out of here, Dr. Scott, you had a question from the Fluid family.
Yes, this is from Mark. Mark wants to know why is my body resistant to all pain medications, including narcotics and opioids? Tried every possible one. Terrible sciatica pain with no relief possible. Waiting for an MRI.
Okay.
So
I have an answer for that. Number one, everybody's different, but number two, some pains are not opioid sensitive.
Right.
And what I don't know if they started on, say, hydrocodone 5 and then went, let's go to oxycodone 5 and then let's go to hydromorphone 2. I see this a lot. This is sort of a bullshit approach to pain where some of my colleagues will just rotate people to different low-dose medications and wonder why they don't work.
It's just not enough.
Yeah, right. It's just not enough. But low back pain, particularly sciatica pain, tends to be neuropathic pain. It's caused by a pinched nerve in the back. And
Discogenic, yes.
Opioids are really not great for that.
No.
And they're just different pains that, vulvar pain is not very sensitive to opioids.
Mm-hmm.
So, there are just some that don't work. And so we need to do something else once you...
Well, I was going to say after an MRI to rule out anything really,
Yes.
kind of ugly. What we like to do is a couple things. A, ice. B, heat, something else from the exterior that might help a little bit. TENS units can help, certainly. Acupuncturists can help a little bit. But the next step is going to probably be an epidural.
Yep.
And
Tell them what that is.
That's why it's so important.
Because we talked about it earlier. But
it's so vital to get an MRI. In order to have an epidural or a facet, an epidural, they're going to take a big needle and run a steroid into the spinal canal, and they're going to. And what that does is that kind of lines the inner column of the spinal canal with steroids and reduces the swelling inside.
Yeah,
so
they don't actually go into where the spinal fluid is. That's why it's epidural.
Yeah,
You're going around the dura, but you're getting very
close.
Yeah,
I would say you don't actually puncture the dura and go into the
That's
cord.
right.
So,
Yeah.
It's in the canal. But and what they'll do in a lot of cases, especially because sciatica is a very complicated thing sometimes. But if it's a discogenic sciatica and you have like a complete failure of a disc, you're going to need a steroid probably that might help some, and maybe some gabapentin, like I would assume you were going to say, which may help some with the neuropathic pain. But in a lot of cases, physical therapy and some traction sometimes, and even sometimes those little tables can help. But if it's bad enough, sometimes the only treatment is going to be some sort of a surgery, some kind of surgical intervention. Whereas if it's more of a stenosis, just a narrowing of the canal, the steroids might help wonderfully well. So maybe it's just was not the right medication, right approach.
Right.
Not because somebody did something wrong.
I had all of the above.
Yeah, they need your MRI.
I have spondylolisthesis, which means that the vertebral bodies are not stacked on top of each other properly. Yeah. And when they're not, when the one is kind of offset, 50%,
kind of shifted forward typically. Yeah.
Right, then all of the little holes where the nerves are supposed to go through are made more narrow. Mm-hmm. And the crazy thing is, the body can adjust to that if you give it time. Mm. And the steroids helped to decrease the swelling around there, so it took off the pressure. But my body just had to eventually just adjust to this. And now I have pain every day, and my foot is numb a lot of times, but it doesn't affect my quality of life. I can sit and watch a movie. I can walk. I feel like right now I could go to Disney World and walk like we used to do, 8-10 miles a day without any trouble. I might have to sit down more, but I'm back to walking in the hospital faster than my interns can keep up with me. Because it's like, why walk slow? We got shit to do.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Get it going.
All right. You got anything else?
That's all.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
I hope you feel better, man.
Yeah.
And keep us in the loop.
Yeah.
Okay. Let us know how you're doing, for real. Many thanks go to Dr. Scott And how about some thanks to Tacie as well?
Yeah.
Appreciate you. You won on the bell thing today.
I did win.
Thanks to everyone who made the show happen over the years, and listen to our Sirius XM show on the Faction Talk channel, Sirius XM channel 103, Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern, on demand, and other times at Jim McClure's pleasure. Many thanks to our listeners whose voicemail and topic ideas make this job very easy. Go to our website, drsteve.com, for schedules, podcasts, and other crap. And don't forget stuff.drsteve.com and simplyherbals.net for all of your online shopping needs. Until next time, check your stupid nuts for lumps, quit smoking, get off your asses, get some exercise. We'll see you in 1 week for the next edition of Weird Medicine. Thanks, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
All right, now let's do the opener, and then we're done. Ready?
Yep.
Echo, tell me a joke.
What did the Terminator say to his last sip of coffee? Hasta la barista, baby. I was going to tell you a dirty joke, but I don't want you to soil yourself. Why did the cat cross the road? Because the chicken had a laser pointer.
If you just read the bio for Dr. Steve, host of Weird Medicine on Sirius XM 103 and made popular by two really comedy shows, Opie and Anthony and Ron and Fez, you would have thought that this guy was a bit of, a clown.
You give me the respect that I'm entitled to!
I've got diphtheria crushing my esophagus. I've got Ebola virus dripping from my nose. I've got the leprosy of the heart valve, exacerbating my incredible woes. I want to take my brain out and blast it with the wave, an ultrasonic echographic and a pulsating shave. I want a magic pill for all my ailments, the health equivalent to Citizen Kane. And if I don't get it now in the tablet, I think I'm doomed and I'll have to go insane. I want a requiem for my disease, so I'm paging Dr. Steve. Dr. Steve!
From the world-famous Cardiff Electric Network studios, it's Weird Medicine, the first and still only uncensored medical show in the history of broadcast radio, now a podcast. I'm Dr. Steve with my little pal, Dr. Scott. Traditional Chinese medicine provider gives me street cred with the wacko alternative medicine assholes. Hello, Dr. Scott.
Hey, Dr. Steve.
And my partner in all things, Tacie. Hello, Tacie.
Hello.
This is a show for people who would never listen to a medical show on the radio or the internet. If you have a question you're embarrassed to take to your regular medical provider, if you can't find an answer anywhere else, give us a call. 347-766-4323. That's 347-POOHEAD. Follow us on Twitter at Weird Medicine or at DrScottWM, and visit our website, drsteve.com, for podcasts, medical news, and stuff you can buy. Most importantly, we are not your medical providers. Take everything you hear with a grain of salt. Don't act on anything you hear on this show without talking it over with your healthcare provider. All right, very good. Check out stuff.drsteve.com, stuff.drsteve.com for all of your shopping needs, particularly Amazon. It really helps a lot. And, it's been dropping off. It's okay. We appreciate everything that you all do. If you go to stuff.drsteve.com and just click on, go to Amazon, you can just go there and just skip over. It's just a way station. Otherwise, you can scroll down and get the Rody robotic tuner. There's a discount on that now. It's the greatest gift that you could give to someone who has a guitar habit, but also is under $200.
Yep.
And they have a new thing called the Rody Coach that'll actually teach you how to play your instrument, which I can't wait to see how that thing works.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Check out ed.drsteve.com for the Phoenix acoustic wave penile restorative thingamajig. And it's clinically demonstrated to have a significantly statistical response in improving erectile dysfunction in men who don't have some neurologic deficit. So check that out at ed.drsteve.com. And Dr. Scott's website at simplyherbals.net. That's simplyherbals.net with the best CBD nasal spray in the world, as far as I'm concerned. And Tacie and I have a show on Patreon called Weird Medicine, the Special Edition. Check out patreon.com/weirdmedicine. 100% of phone calls that are called into that get answered. And a little bit different than the regular thing where I have a backlog of thousands of questions we've just never gotten to. And I'm sorry for that if we never did. I try to answer everybody in text message. I fail in that regard sometimes too. But anyway, patreon.com/Weird Medicine. We've had Pete Davidson on. We had the Troika of Opie and Anthony, Mark Normand, Chad Zumach, and other folks like that. So it's been a fun thing. Oh, and Gino Bisconti, don't miss that one. Good Lord. You remember that, Tace?
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. Gino is childlike without being childish, and he is very animated, to say the least. So check that out. Patreon.com/Weird Medicine. And then if you want me to say fluid to your daddy for Father's Day, it doesn't quite have the ring of saying fluid to your mama. But anyway, if you want me to give your dad a Father's Day cameo, I dropped the price to $5 just because I like doing them. And all the proceeds go to ham radio. So,
oh my!
All of them.
And when you do a $5 cameo, I get like $3. Yeah. But it adds up.
It adds up.
We're my buddy Dale and I are saving up to create a moon bounce ham radio setup where we can actually bounce signals off the moon and talk to people that way. And I'm very excited about that.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Yeah. All right. Okay. There we go. Let me save this.
Save it. Save it.
Can I turn it off?
Yeah.
You want me to leave it on?
You can. Oh, yeah, leave it on.
Yeah, leave it on. Let me have it, please, pretty please. Thank you, Tace.
I'm going to go check on the kitty cat.
Okay, yep.
Since I'm the one who didn't want it.
Do you want to bring it up? You want to bring it up and show it to everybody? What a kitty cat that showed up at our house and was so desperate it came into a yard with 3 dogs.
Yep.
And we got it out of Ralphie's mouth.
Ralphie was just probably protecting it.
He was just playing with it. He wasn't trying to hurt it.
No.
But the thing was terrified, and it was spitting and lunging at us and stuff. It was very feral. And now the thing is
all bad Betty.
Oh yeah,
cute.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I guess we have a new cat.
Have you taken it up the streets yet?
No, they said they didn't want to see it for a month. It's only 5 weeks old.
Okay, gotcha.
So they'll do a pound every 4 weeks.
Oh wow.
Or a quarter pound a week, I think is what they said. So he was a pound and 3 ounces, so he's about 5 weeks old.
Oh, just itty bitty.
Yeah, a tiny little kitty cat.
Cute.
The first thing I did was just feed him, and as terrified as she was, she just sat there and just ate more than my big cat does.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's probably started.
So we were like, and Tacie was like, "Don't feed it." And then it's going to be ours. It's like, yeah, it chose us.
That's going to be the sweetest. That's going to be the
it's the best. It's the sweetest little thing.
Yep. It'll be the best kitty.
Yep. Yeah. Well, no, listen, thinking about what could have happened to that poor little kitty cat, it didn't know anything. It doesn't know anything. It's out alone going, what am I supposed to do?
And a hawk, especially around here.
Yes.
Well, it's all over my house. I don't know about over here, but we have big hawks.
Yeah, that would have just picked it up. It doesn't know anything.
Yeah, been gone.
So that's how desperate it was, though. There were
Poor
3
thing.
dogs, Doug, Ralphie, and Rosie. 2 giant Labradoodles and a little
Doug was
genetic freak.
Yeah.
And, wow. Anyway.
Rosie is a bit of a freak.
And Liam is so sensitive, he picked it up and he just started crying. I said, okay, we got to get, here it is. Here, I'll turn that camera on.
Oh, there's baby. Hey, sweetie.
Okay, I'll turn that camera on.
Hey, sweetie.
Let me see. Let me tell you when. I can tell you when it's on.
Pumpkin.
Yeah, there. Yeah.
Look at you.
Get it to turn this way if you can. There
Look
you
at your baby.
Hello, little friend.
That's a pretty baby. He's like, I hit the jackpot.
Yep.
My worst nightmare.
Yeah, Tacie's worst nightmare, she said. She's
pretty sure there's,
She hates animals.
She's a hater.
let me see here. Okay, Weird Medicine. What's
Yeah.
the date today? 0610?
Yeah, 0610. And I've got the
show.
Yeah, I've got it
for
headed towards you.
And so it'll be on the 17th?
Yep.
17, 23. That helps a lot.
Yeah, and I'm getting ready to melt tea right now.
All right. So we picked the song ahead of time
Oh my
for the
gosh.
first time ever.
Yes, it'll be fun.
Ooh.
Let's see, we can get you this emailed first before I forget it. All right, 610, 617. Gotcha.
Hey, is Sean Pedrick still in the chat? Sean,
There
I
he
need
is,
to
yeah.
know what weekend in August you're coming, because you may be going to Micro Moog Fest with me if it's the weekend of the 18th.
Hey, give me a little bit of juice on the.
Oh yeah,
it should be the black. That middle one.
Oh, that's here.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Okay, what? Okay, where is it? Don't blow the surprise. We have not played this, nor have I
No.
learned it. But
No, I haven't either.
Okay,
but I can play a D.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly right, CC. I got the PRS out. I only do this on special occasions. Yeah, Sean's coming in the weekend prior.
Okay,
it's
good.
The 10th week. I think it's the 11th or something. Like
Okay,
that.
good.
I think it's something like that. All right, guys, prepare to be underwhelmed.
It's D.
Yeah, D. Yep. I hit the wrong fucking button. So yeah, D. All right, let's see here. To all the girls I
Oh, wait.
love.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
God damn it.
Oh, man, we had it.
I know, we did.
Do.
There you go.
Do.
Okay, sorry.
It's all good. To all the girls I've loved before, who traveled in and out my door, I'm glad we came along. I dedicate this song to all the girls I've loved before, to all the girls I once caressed. And may I say I held the best for helping me to grow. All I know, to all the girls I've loved before, The winds of change are always blowing, and every time I try to stay, the winds of change are always blowing, and they carry me away. To all the girls I've led my life, who are now someone else's wife, I'm glad they came along. I dedicate this song to all the girls I've loved before, to all the girls who cared for me, who filled my life with ecstasy. They live within my heart, I'll always be a part, and all the girls I've loved before. The winds of change are always blowing, and every time I try to stay, the winds of change continue blowing, and they just carry me away. To all the girls we loved before, who traveled in and out our doors, we're glad they came along. Dedicate the song to all the girls we've loved before. The winds of change are always blowing, and every time I try to stay, the winds of change continue blowing, and they just carry me away. Back to A. The winds of change are always blowing, and they just carry me away.
That's kind of the Elvis version.
I know that was my. I couldn't do a Julio Iglesias version.
All the girls I've loved before.
Yeah, Doctor, that's the weirdo. The weirdos.
Who traveled in and out my door.
Well, that's what I was thinking, Sean. If
I'm glad they came along. I dedicate this song to all the girls I've loved. Well, I can't do all. Hey, how's it going? I'm Willie Nelson. All right. That wasn't too bad for a first time through. I had no idea it's really just 3 chords.
Yeah, no.
They fool you.
Yeah, but those guys, they sing so beautifully well. That's what those guys.
And you need harmony for that chorus, too.
Yes.
The winds of change are always blowing.
And it carries me away. The winds of change continue blowing, and they just carry me away.
Okay,
that's my best Willie Nelson guitar picking.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, he's real good at that low down kind of thing. I loved his guitar solos.
Yeah, they're just they're
They're
not
very
fast,
simple,
they're just
but they
very just perfect.
And they were low down on the thing rather than playing real up high on them. Yeah. Okay, what else you got?
Let's do.
We should leave that in our repertoire. Are you writing these down?
Oh yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
Where are you writing them down?
I've got them all saved on that guitar.
Is that what you're
Ultimate
doing?
Guitar, yeah, man.
Well, I'm on a list of them though. If we wanted to do a playlist, you can get it off of Ultimate Guitar. You just click, and all of them are late. Okay, all right.
And I can actually put it to put this
No.
Willie Nelson riff right there, isn't it? That's him, isn't it? And then he goes, then he does this.
Yes. I know what you're talking about. He does it a lot more expertly than you do, but
great,
yeah.
though.
Yeah.
I'm terrible.
He is amazing. So what made me think of that was we saw a Willie Nelson cover band last night.
Oh my gosh, that's fun. That is so much fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Do I know sleepwalking? Only when people are listening to me play Logan Field. I don't know what sleepwalking is. Dr. Steve, is that?
What is that?
He said, "Do we know sleepwalking?" I don't know if that's a song or.
Well, let's look at it.
I don't know.
Sleepwalking.
I don't think I've ever heard of it.
By who? There's a bunch of them. By the Cinders, by Chevelle. Well, that's Sleeping Walking Elite. Birthday Massacre. Yeah. Send us a link to the one you want, and we'll learn it. What else you got? You had something else.
Do you want to try that song? You wanted to try the Such Great Heights?
Oh, yeah. You want to try it?
Yeah, let me get my mandolin.
Yeah, you got to have that.
Yeah, it's just a lot of words, but we'll try
Is
it.
it?
Yeah, we'll try it.
You're good at that, though.
It's that's a great song. It's just a lot of moving parts there. It's in G.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're doing it in?
Yeah, I believe so. That's the
original
one
was
that.
F.
Oh, was it? You know what's something interesting? The is this for some odd reason. Oh man, when I get out of here, I tell you, I built a bog pond to filter out and clean the water for my koi pond, so I don't have to clean.
Oh yeah.
My koi pond.
Yeah, does it work?
Every other day. And I have a hole in the bottom of it. So I dug about almost 1,000 pounds of water or gravel this morning. Oh, I see what the problem is. That's it. No, you had it. You had it. Why don't you sing it? And let me just play the.
Okay. You doing the intro?
Yeah. Hang on, let me find that's the wrong one. Let me get the version that's.
To do the pro version, that's what I'm doing.
10-4. Is it the Benjamin Gibbard one?
The official version.
Of
No.
the Postal Service?
Postal Service.
Gotcha,
Official.
okay. Yeah, let me get the one you're on.
Okay.
And you've got C. I'm sorry, G. Let me see. Chords. See, for some reason it won't let me turn. It won't let me.
Just hit chords.
No, I did, Steve, but it won't let me put it on. It won't. It will. No, Ultimate Guitar will no longer let me
Scroll.
No, change the.
Yeah, you go over. Yeah, well, go over to where it says metronome. Hit the 3 dots,
Metronome.
and then hit transpose twice.
Oh, there's stem cells. Well, no wonder. Sorry. I stand corrected. All right, let's try this. You gonna sing it?
No.
Oh.
Because you're an idiot.
This fucking pro version's going faster than I am. Hang on. All right. That damn pro version. Does yours do that? It moves
I'm not. It does, but I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. So let's go back. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's see if I can
start from the G.
Yeah, G. Yeah. I'm thinking it's so sun. Freckles in your eyes are mirror images. God damn, this thing perfectly aligned. And Steve, I'm sorry. Let me get off another.
What are you doing?
Dude, it's not fucking me. It's this fucking program.
Change the speed, bro.
I did. That's the problem. I changed. Hang on. Let me go. I'm getting off the pro version. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to the one I can scroll myself.
You can scroll the pro version. I'm scrolling it.
Well, obviously, I'm not doing it properly because it ain't right. Transpose. No, hell, if I could have fucking fixed it, I would have been over here battling this stupid fucking thing. All right, here we go. Let's try this. 3, 2, 1, and I'm thinking it's a sign. The freckles of your eyes are mirror images, and when we kiss, they're perfectly aligned. And I have to speculate that God Himself did make us in corresponding shapes and puzzles from pieces of clay. And true, it may seem like a stretch. The thoughts
That's a B minor.
See, and then this one's telling me a D now instead of a B minor.
Right, that's why you got to use the pro version. This is the official version. That version is incorrect.
If I can get this thing to not jump forward, I'm not even gonna push.
You can
play.
tell that's right.
Yeah, I'm just not even gonna do this. I'm gonna
You just do as much as you can, and then
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it font really small.
And then we got to learn this,
play. Okay.
so that we don't have this problem.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's going to be a thorn, I said
1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm thinking it's a sign. Freckles in your eyes are mirror images, and when we kiss, they're perfectly aligned. And I have to speculate. God Himself did make us a corresponding shape like puzzle pieces from the clay. And true, seems like a stretch, but it starts like this that gets my troubled head when you're away. I am missing you to death, and you out there on the road for several weeks of shows, and when you scan the radio, I hope this song will find you. Keep going, 3, 4, and they will see us waving from the screen.
No, this is the chorus.
Yeah.
They will see us waving from such great heights. Okay.
Okay. They will see us waving from such great heights. Come down now. They'll say, but everything looks so perfect from so far away. Come down now. We'll stay. Yeah, I tried my best to leave. There's all in the machine, but persistent beat. It sounded then up on the sending end. Break Davis will not lie. You'll hear the shrillest highs and lows with windows down. This is guiding you home. Oh,
See, it goes C, 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 B minor.
Yeah, it just
They will see us waving such great heights. Come down now.
Yeah, you do it. Hellfire. I butchered the piss out of it. No, I was,
It's instead of they will see us waving, it's they will see us waving such great heights. Come down now. They'll say.
So the one I practiced.
I think it goes back to a D.
To a D.
Yep.
Yeah,
I agree with you. It resolves to the D.
It almost has to.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's the version I was playing didn't have the B minor, and it was.
But you want the down comes on the C.
Yeah, but here's the weird thing. That intro, the G, D, E minor D is how I have been practicing it, but it's not through this whole fucking song. Isn't that wild? Because this sounds right to me.
Try it.
And see,
try it. Sing it.
Yeah, and that's what I'll
2,
do.
3, 4.
I'm thinking it's a sign.
No.
Yeah. I'm thinking it's a sign. The freckles in your eyes are mirror images, and when we kiss, they're perfectly aligned. And I have to speculate that God Himself didn't make it.
See,
corresponding shape. It may seem like a stretch, but it thoughts this has you rebel head, and when you are away. See, that just sounds. You know what I'll do? I'll play the
They
major
will see
key,
us
and you can play the
waving from
minor.
great- yeah.
I'll play the
Yeah.
major, and you play
Yeah.
the minor. That'll work, because I think that's what it is. It's that D instead of B minor, and you can play the B minor. I'll play the
I
D.
don't know. Anyway, we'll work on it.
Yeah, well, that's practice.
All right.
Let's play one more that I don't just butcher, guys. I'm sorry, hell, it's my fault.
Well, I saw them Wayland people. We should do Waymore's Blues.
Oh yeah, let's do Waymore Blues. Yep, let's do Waymore Blues, and we'll get out of here. We can do it. We can do it. Damn, Steve. I'm sorry. That was just. I couldn't get the thing to work.
That's a tough one.
It is, and it's the timing.
We got to play it with them, too.
Yeah. And get me. No, it's not my computer's fault. It's my fault, obviously. Waymore's Blues. All right.
Oh, shit. This whole time.
Oh, no.
I've been on the road. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay. No wonder. That sounds much better.
Well, I woke up this morning, it was drizzling rain. Around that curve came a passenger train. Heard somebody yodel and a hobo moan. Jimmy, he's dead, he's been a long time gone, been a long time gone. A long time to heaven, got to D-I-E. Gotta put on your coat and T-I-E. Wanna get the rabbit out the L-O-G. You gotta make a cold motion like a D-O-G. Like a D-O-G. Like a D-O-G.
No.
It clearly says it. It clearly says solo. Wrap it up one more time. Wrap it up. Well, I got a good woman, what's the matter with me? What makes you wanna love every woman I see? I was traveling when I met her, now I'm traveling again. And every woman she sees looks like a place I came in. Looks like a place I came in. Like a place I came in. Well, I got my name painted on my shirt. I ain't no ordinary dude. I don't have to work. I don't have to work. Yeah, I don't have to work. Oh, let me finish the solo.
Oh, now if you would comp your solo, it would be fine.
I know.
Let's do it in comp one. I want to get one clean version of this we can put up on there.
Well, we can do it. I won't play.
You can do a solo.
Yeah.
Just do your chord thing.
Okay.
You can't just have two instruments that are both playing just one note.
We'll just play through the instrument. Let's just play through the instrumental, and I'll just play.
We'll just comp on it. Yeah,
but you'll do the run. I'll just okay. Now let's take it from the top.
Okay.
All right.
1, 2. Okay, wait.
Well, I woke up this morning, it was drizzling rain. Around that curve came a passenger train. I heard someone modal and a hobo moan. Jimmy, he's dead, he's been a long time gone, been a long time gone. A long time gone. If you wanna get to heaven, gotta D-I-E. You gotta put on your coat and T-I-E. Wanna get the rabbit out the L-O-G. You gotta make a cold motion like a D-O-G. Like a D-O-G. Like a D-O-G. Well, I got a good woman, what's the matter with me? What makes you wanna love every woman I see? I was traveling when I met her, now I'm traveling again. And every woman she sees looks like a place I came in. Looks like a place I came in. Woo! A place I came in. Well, I got my name painted on my shirt. I ain't no ordinary dude. I don't have to work. I don't have to work. I don't have to work. I didn't steal that one, man.
You did the at the wrong time, but that's all right.
Yeah, I know it. I was feeling it, though, man.
I know, that's fine. You do it whenever you want. And I had a leg cramp the whole time. I didn't stop.
Oh, shit, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Fucking leg cramp.
All
right. Thanks,
boys and
everybody.
girls, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you. Sorry about the middle song there. I won't.
No. We always try to learn
There's
one. So.
Oh, there's Amanda. Hey, Amanda, what's up?
Well,
Good
there's.
to say you, old Mander.
Hello,
If
Mander.
we'd have known you was here, Mander, we'd have done Amanda.
Hey, we're going to do live stream where I put out the link and you guys can just join the live stream and ask questions or shit on me or, wear weird masks and act crazy and stuff and see how that goes.
That was a good feeling. That was a good feeling song. That was just.
Yeah, that's always a good one.
When Dr. Steve reminds me not to do anything too stupid, I do a little bit better. So thank you, guys. That was a wonderful show. Thank you for being here. Wonderful show.
Yeah, it was
glad
fun.
I'm back from my little.
Oh, we had a damn question about chi we should have done. Well, we'll do it next week.
Yeah, I'll do it next week. Oh, I'm headed Tuesday.
What?
Cincinnati, baby.
Why?
I'm going to see Dead and Company.
Oh, are you?
Yep.
Who? What? Phil Lesh?
No.
Nobody?
Oh, no. It's Bobby Weir and.
Bobby Weir. Yeah. Right.
John Mayer and Otil Burbridge and.
Oh, really?
Oh my God, it's going to be wonderful.
I don't know. That sounds wonderful. Good. Well, I hope you enjoy it.
So I'll have some good stories next Saturday.
We had a lot of props. I had a props to Tacie one, and I had one where some guy said he was beating off to Carissa talking about all the different words for vagina.
Oh, for God's sakes. Well,
so
don't hold back, brother.
There you go.
Don't hold back. All right, guys. See you next week. Thanks again. Oh my God, that was fun. No, I hated not being here last week. I hate it. Just hate it.